Welcome to Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle, LaPorte County's original social media. Sound Off is a public interest forum that encourages your voice to be heard on the topics and issues impacting our local communities. We invite you to be part of the conversation by calling or texting 219-362-0522. You may also email your questions to soundoff@967theeagle.com. This is a topic-based program, and we ask that you keep your comments brief, concise, and related to the topic being discussed. The views expressed on Sound Off are those of the hosts or callers and do not represent the opinion of 96.7 The Eagle, Spoon River Media, LLC, or the sponsors. The on-air line is now open for your calls or texts at 219-362-0522. And now, Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
And welcome to Sound Off on this Friday afternoon. Stan Maddox here. Our guest today, Jeremy Sobecki, the Porte County Park Department Superintendent. It's getting to be that time of year, so good time to have Jeremy on to bring us up to date on what's happening at the county parks. So give us a call or a text message once again at 362-0522. Jeremy, as always, welcome to Sound Off.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Good day, like you said, good time of year to talk about parks for sure. The sun's starting to come out a little bit and get a little warmer. So
grass is starting to green up a little bit.
Yep, we're getting there. There's places, I think, out at the parks that I look at and little patchy places already that I'm thinking, well, we could probably mow that. But, once you start, you never quit. So we'll give it a little more time.
Boy, is there usually a lot of work to be done after winter, just like a lot of people have a lot of work to do in their yards. Do you have a lot of raking and leaf blowing that you got to do in the parks? Yeah, we try
to keep up on that leaf blowing in the fall to, get those so it doesn't kill the grass. But there are some areas we'll do that. We had a lot of storms, wind and stuff, so we had a lot of cleanup from that. But that was what we've already cleaned up was mostly big trees and stuff that fell down over trails. Now we'll be getting the grass, the grass areas cleaned up so that we can get those ready for the public. We have our seasonals will be starting a little bit later this month. The guys that work at the parks, or guys and girls that work at the parks throughout the summer. And so we're still getting those hired and working at getting equipment ready and oil changes and stuff like we did all winter and finishing all that kind of stuff up. But, yeah. So
that time of year, you'll be getting all sorts of wildflowers. I understand the county parks have a lot of wildflowers.
Yeah. Bloom is probably one of the better places for that. Out there by Westville, we have a lot of native wildflowers in the prairie and then also in the woods. Some things going on out there at Bloom as well. We've got a project coming up soon, a wetland restoration project that the DNR has funded and bought property to add to Bloom and add some trails and reroute a stream and enhance a wetland that's already there, do some restoration stuff. But so we're going to be adding about 40 acres to that park this year. Yep. So that's a done deal. And then we're also going to be adding a trail out there at, not this coming year. Construction will probably start in 26, I believe. That'll connect PNW to Bloom County Park. So,
wow, that sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah. So that was a grant. A lot of money came from a lot of places to get that trail done, but that'll be a nice trail, a nice addition. It'll add almost as much paved trail there, probably a couple miles more of paved trail, and it'll be connecting, so I know the kids at PNW don't stay overnight or anything, but at least maybe in between classes they could go for a bike ride or walk, over to the park or into town or, whatever. And it'll be a nice longer trail, so it's not seeing the same thing the whole way. But so
rerouting a stream. Yeah. For what reason? How do you reroute a stream?
So it's right now it's a ditch. So it was a drainage ditch that was a legal drain, which we were not where it's at. It wasn't necessarily needed now as a legal drain to really push that water out of there. But so basically, what that's going to do is put it back to where it's more of an original type of flow, so it's got some curves to it and ripples and stuff like that the aquatic insects and frogs and stuff like that will appreciate that more, I'm sure, but also just it'll look a lot nicer than just straight down dug down ditch type look through the woods of a park. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, great. So,
and all of that money for that project came from wetland mitigation stuff, where when contractors or people build and they impact wetlands, they pay money into a pool downstate, and then the DNR comes up with projects and works with landowners that are partners to put that money back into enhancing a wetland or a stream, similar to what was affected by building. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
great.
None of the county money on that, actually, on that project.
All right. Once again, our guest today, LaPorte County Park Superintendent Jeremy Sobecki. Give us a call, 362-0522, or shoot us a text message at that same number as well. You got some projects or programs coming up for the public out there. What's the first one you want to tell us about?
I'll just start with the drum fit. That's one we've been trying to get going, and sometimes we get a lot of people, sometimes we don't. So we started it off at drum fit for boomers, but it doesn't have to be for boomers. It can be for any age group. It's a fun. You basically have a set of drumsticks and a exercise ball. The blow up exercise balls, and they play music, and you beat the drum. The drumsticks to the music, and you're walking in place. It's a very low impact type of exercise. It's fun. I think the people that do come, it's a lot of fun. We have those a couple times a month, actually, so there's lots of opportunity to come try it out. It's free. Our next one will be, April 24th, and then we also have one on May 15th and 29th, and those are typically at the Lure County Park at the Nature Center. And now that the weather's getting nicer, we're hoping more people will come because it'll be outside. We'll do it either outside there in the shelter or out in the grassy area, so it'll be a nice outdoor activity.
Okay, I got to get a better understanding. You have drumsticks and a big ball.
And the big exercise balls that you're usually doing balance type stuff on. And, you're hitting that as your drum. That's your drum.
Oh, the ball's your
drum. The ball
drum.
is your drum, yeah. And
it makes
to music.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So and there's one of our staff will be there kind of helping you, direct you, and we can't guarantee you're going to have the rhythm down or anything, but it's fun and it's exercise anyway. So it's something to do.
Yeah, no kidding. A good way to lower your blood pressure.
Yeah. So and that's any age. You can bring kids. You can bring anything. So anybody. So just make sure you register at Red Mill. If you want to go to that, give us a call and we'll tell you the dates and times, and or you can look at our website to find that out as well.
All right. Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. Stress reliever.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Okay.
So,
I'll tell you what, we got to take a quick commercial break. Stay with us here in Sound Off.
The LaPorte County Symphony Orchestra presents Some Enchanted Evening. Conductor Dr. Carolyn Watson will take the audience on a trip down Broadway with an evening of Golden Age musical theater from America's best-loved composer-lyricist duo, Richard Rogers and Oscar Hammerstein. This Broadway spectacular will take place Saturday, April 12th at 7 p.m. at the LaPorte Civic Auditorium. Students with an ID and children are admitted free. Get your tickets today at lcso.net.
If you're not already banking at Grand Heritage Federal Credit Union, you may be wondering what the differences are between Grand Heritage and others, like banks. Stop by today and let them show you how to put more money in your pocket by banking with Grand Heritage, a credit union. Like free checking, Christmas clubs, auto loans, Visa credit cards, children's accounts with no fees and no minimum balances. You'll also enjoy the easy-to-use mobile app and online banking at Grand Heritage. When you're out of town, you'll be able to bank at one of over 5,000 shared branches across the United States. Oh, and when you call Grand Heritage, you'll get a real person on the line, not some automated attendant. And you can take comfort in knowing that all decisions are made locally. It's simply better banking with Grand Heritage. Here locally since 1955 at 201 Kumler Drive, LaPorte. Your money is federally insured by NCUA at Grand Heritage Federal Credit Union.
Get all your weekend sports updates on 96.7 The Eagle all weekend, every hour from 11:30 to 9:30 following ABC News, covering the latest in sporting news with current scores from across the country. Provided by ABC Sports and brought to you by Giggles Boutique.
Have you heard about Denny's Diner on 96.7 The Eagle? Every weekday during the morning mayhem at 6:55, I'll present you with our special question of the day. And if you're the first person with the correct answer, then you'll win a $20 gift card from one of these fine sponsors.
Twisted Tiki Sports Bar and Pizzeria, Burger Taco, JJ's Pizza Shack, and the Burger Bar and Grill.
So join me for Denny's Diner at 6:55 weekday mornings only on 96.7 The Eagle.
Michiana weather.
Highs around 48 this afternoon. Under sunny skies, clear skies tonight. Lows dip down to about 30. From the Weather Center at HometownNewsNow.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, 46.
Thank you for tuning in to Sound Off. You can now text or email your questions directly to the studio. Call or text 362-0522 or email your questions to soundoff@967theeagle.com. This is Sound Off.
And welcome back to Sound Off. Our guest again, Jeremy Sobecki, LaPorte County Park Department Superintendent. Give us a call, 362-0522, or shoot us a text. We have a text message here, Jeremy. We're fortunate to have such great county parks. They are second to none, thanks to the excellent staff.
I appreciate the comment. I don't know if that's one of my staff sending that in or what, but we do. Really, we do have a great staff. A lot of passion, a lot of dedication to what we're doing. And if you go out to our parks, I think what she said or they said about being second to none, I think you'll see it. At very least, we're one of the more cleanly parks. All of them. I mean, our staff is. That's something we stress is. People don't want to come into a park and see trash. They don't want to see dirty restrooms, and that's the most important thing. And if you get a complaint, a lot of times, it's going to be about a dirty restroom. Nobody wants to use those, and so we put a lot of time and effort into making sure we keep them how they are. And if there's a problem, let us know. We want to know. We don't want to find out about it later that there was a dirty restroom for 3 or 4 hours or something. We usually check them in the morning, clean them, and then usually in the end of the day too. So if it happens in the middle of the day, let us know. Somebody trashes it or whatever. But public places, the people do odd things.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. There's always there's sometimes a surprise waiting for you when you open that bathroom door.
Yeah, we had a surprise out at Red Mill recently. We had a couple. We had a cat somebody dropped off, and then there's a rabbit running around out at Red Mill that was not a wild rabbit. So I can touch on that too. Like, don't drop your stuff off at the parks. We don't need your rabbit or your cat to deal with, and also wildlife. People find wildlife at their house and want to bring it out to the parks. Well, if they're a problem at your house, it's probably going to be a problem for us. If a raccoon's getting into your stuff or into your trash or into your house and things like that, they're notorious for doing the same thing wherever you put them. So deal with those the right way. Get a hold of DNR, find out how to deal with those. Don't just bring them somewhere else and dump them. Chipmunks, all of that kind of stuff. Just
people dump chipmunks
all the time.
Where are they getting the chipmunks?
Well, you have problems with chipmunks getting into your feed at home or your into your shed or whatever at home. That's all the time. Little squirrels and stuff like that. And like I said, and the other thing is you're taking them out of their home that they're familiar with, and you're putting them somewhere that they have no clue what's going on. They're probably not going to do well there.
Do they show up in cages?
Yep, people show up with their little traps and go to get them out of their truck or car and was, hey, we don't really want your animal either. They don't know where to take them. But like I said, check with the DNR, check with proper people, and find out what you should do with those. Don't just try to put your problem on somebody else.
Yeah, and especially no snakes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You don't get any snakes, do you? I hope not.
No, I mean, we've had people bring turtles and stuff, but, not, I don't know that we've had people. I'm sure we have had people bring snakes and put them out there, but we haven't found them doing that. So.
Okay, well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick phone call. You're on Sound Off with Jeremy Sobecki.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hello.
How are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Would you do all these motorcycle riders a favor when your crew is out mowing, have them blow it into the grass, not out onto the road? Because when it's on the road like that, it's like ice to a motorcycle.
Yep. I'll mention that to the crew and make sure. I don't believe they do that, but it's possible it has happened. But I'll make sure and keep an eye out for that as well, and I'll mention it to the crew. I appreciate your call.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Thanks for the call. What else in terms of programs you have coming up for the spring?
Yeah, so going on right now, all month of April, we have a Easter expedition going on. There's some Easter eggs hidden. You basically go to the nature center, start at the nature center, and there's clues as to where some eggs are hidden. I do know at first they had some treats in there, but I think, again, the raccoons might have got into a few of those eggs, so they may be doing something a little differently now. But, it's a fun thing for the kids. And like I said, you just follow the clues and you'll find some eggs and stuff hidden around the park a little bit. But
is that at all the parks?
That's at Lure.
That's at Lure?
Yep, Lure, and it's all the month of April. So, and there's no times or anything. It's just you go there, and I think they've got some kind of little guided thing for you to check out at the nature center and then go from there. So.
Okay, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
How many eggs are hidden?
I'm not sure. I know they had a bunch of them. I know they had gotten some. We had some left over from other events, and then but I think there's quite a few of them out there. It's not quite like Cablin's. You're not going to win a grill or anything, but
right.
But, yeah. So just fun for the kids and something to get them out there walking and doing something in the woods. So we also have some night hikes coming up. Friday, April 25th, there's a frog night hike. Frogs tend to sing quite a bit at night, so you might be able to hear some. And then, but also they'll have some glow-in-the-dark frogs, glowing things, not glow-in-the-dark real frogs, but, stuff from that the Nature Center staff is putting together to go find. And then a bigger night hike on May 2nd, Friday, May 2nd, out at Bloom County Park. That one is going to be a Star Wars-themed night hike like we did last year around May 2nd, or it was May 4th, but there'll be a hayride out there. We'll have some yard games and probably a campfire and that kind of stuff, as long as conditions are good with that. So wear your Star Wars apparel. I know people who love their Star Wars like to dress up. So May 2nd on Friday from 6:30 to 9:30 out at Bloom County Park. That'd be a good time to come out. So,
almost sounds like Halloween.
Yeah. So like I said, I know a lot of people have Star Wars gear and they're looking for any excuse to dress up in that. So
oh, wow.
come on out.
Yeah. So, sit on a bale of hay on a wagon wearing your Star Wars costume. Yeah.
We got an old... really old tractor we've got, a little Ford tractor that we'll pull the wagon with, and so we'll have to be making sure that thing's tuned up from the winter and ready to go. So,
okay. What's the date on that again?
That was May 2nd, Friday, May 2nd from 6:30 to 9:30 out at Bloom County Park by Westville.
Okay.
Yep. And we're doing a native garden cleanup, too, at Lure on May 16th. So you can drop in from 9 to 12 and help us do some cleanup on those native gardens. And you can call and register on that, or call us on any of these. But look at our website again, laportecountyparks.org, and check out the events. There's more events than what I'm mentioning. I'm just mentioning a couple here, but there's a lot of stuff our Nature Center staff's putting together. There's the painting, Brush with Madness. There's, like I said, several night hikes. That's a big one she's been doing a lot of. So just get on that website and check them out.
Okay, great. So just do a Google search for LaPorte County Parks, I guess. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yep. So And there'll be more events being posted as we get closer to the summer, June. After June, the events that are on there are through May, and then we'll get the June ones posted once we get closer to that.
All right.
So,
boy, you get people coming to the county parks this time of year to do some mushroom hunting.
Yeah, it's getting to be close to that time. I always wanted to say the nature preserves, you're not allowed to hunt and collect mushrooms in there. So part of Red Mill County Park is a nature preserve, and then also Siebert Woods County Park, all of it's a nature preserve. So please respect that and don't go collecting mushrooms there. But it's a pretty common activity in the parks and in the wooded areas and around the county. I know the morels, so the early ones are probably going to start coming up any time if we ever get warmer. That 70-degree weather last week or 60-something probably got us close, but I'd say we'll get close as we warm up here, and once that ground heats up a little bit, you should start seeing that. But yeah, people really enjoy getting out in the spring and enjoying that. So you can come out and check it out. Yeah,
and I'm sure you get some bird watchers too, huh?
Yeah, bird watchers, wildflower lookers, and and the birds. We've got a couple eagles hanging around out by Red Mill. You'll see them the last couple of years. They've been hanging around Creek Ridge quite a bit. Different pair, I'm sure, but I haven't heard whether those are back. But yeah, we have pretty good amount of eagles back around the county, but then birds in general. We have these wooded areas of the county parks are good areas. Plus we also have some nice prairies at Bloom and Lure that have them. Now, the one at Lure we just burned. Had a contractor come in and burn the prairie there this week, actually, so that it'll look a little different if you go out there to go take a hike as opposed to what it looked like last week or last summer. But it'll grow back quick. That's just good for it when we do get that burn in. So.
Yeah, recently I've been talking to somebody who goes out and spots eagles. I guess there's a lot more eagles than there used to be.
Yeah, and I mean, especially around like bigger reservoirs and rivers. The Kankakee River has, they probably have some nests along there, but then even like these lakes around LaPorte and stuff. I mean, I live over right off between kind of Stone Lake and Pine Lake, and I see eagles quite often flying over the house and flying down by the road by Pine Lake and all that. So you see them a lot more than you used to, for sure.
Yeah. Wow. The wingspan. Yeah, pretty impressive stuff.
They are big birds. When you see one, you don't really want to mistake it for anything else. It's pretty obvious that it's an eagle, especially if it's close. So.
Well, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. We got to take another break. Stay with us here in Sound Off.
The time is now. From America, for America. With employee pricing for all. At Autopark.com and Autopark Automotive. In Sturgis, Freeman, LaPorte, and Plymouth. Get employee pricing now on SUVs and trucks. New SUVs from just $259 a month. $259. Over 700 new and pre-owned vehicles. One price, one person, 1 hour. That's the Autopark way. At Autopark Automotive. In Sturgis, Freeman, LaPorte, and Plymouth. Autopark.com. To qualified buyers through Ford Credit. 36-month lease with $3,500 due at signing. Plus tax, title, and doc fees. See dealer for details. We service all makes, all models, all at Autopark Automotive. And right now, oil changes are just $24.95. Just $24.95 when you schedule it on Autopark.com. We even pick up and deliver with a driver you trust. Schedule your next service now. Get an oil change for just $24.95 at Autopark Automotive in Sturgis, Freeman, LaPorte, and Plymouth. Schedule now at Autopark.com. Autopark.com. Excludes diesel and specialty vehicles. Pick up, deliver on Ford vehicles.
Hey there, LaPorte community. Are you asking yourself why choose LaPorte Community Federal Credit Union? First, we're local, just like you. Second, our friendly staff is always there for you. Third, your money stays right here, invested in your community. For over 85 years, we've been your trusted financial partner and voted #1 credit union. At LaPorte Community Federal Credit Union, we are more than just numbers. We're a community of financial enthusiasts who make your dreams a reality. Join us today and discover why we're #1. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. LaPorte Community Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hey, have you heard the exciting news? Dr. Granfield, your favorite and trusted podiatrist, has opened his own practice right here in LaPorte. Granfield Foot and Ankle. Dr. Granfield is now accepting new patients and is conveniently located at 502 Legacy Plaza. Dr. Granfield is back and ready to tackle all your foot and ankle concerns. When you stop dancing with excitement, pick up the phone and schedule your appointment at 219-312-6111. That's 219-312-6111.
Looking for a hard-to-find item you can't find in the stores? Maybe you'd like to sell a few items you no longer use or need. Maybe you're looking for help around the house or yard. Tradio is the answer. Every weekday following your 9 a.m. news for Tradio on 96.7 The Eagle. It's your time to call 362-0522 to buy, sell, and trade just about anything, even those hard-to-find items. Join us for Tradio, weekdays from 9:06 a.m. until 10 on 96.7 The Eagle.
Your opinion matters. We invite you to share it by calling the on-air line at 362-0522. That's 362-0522. Now, back to Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
And welcome back to Sound Off. Our guest again, Jeremy Sobecki, LaPorte County Park Department Superintendent. Give us a call. About 10 minutes left in the program, 362-0522. What else is coming up, Jeremy, you'd like to tell us about?
Yeah, I mentioned the June programs and summer programs. We've got a couple of new things coming up. They're going to be doing a bug summer camp July 15th through the 18th. So watch the Facebook page, the LaPorte County Parks Facebook page or our website, and you can sign up for that. They're going to also, another night hike they're going to do is a fairies and fungus glowing night hike. So they're going to make fairy houses on one night and then go on a glowing night hike and look for glowing fairies and mushrooms on the trails. That'll be, again, stuff that the Nature Center staff puts out there for you to come with their we'll have black lights for you to go check that kind of stuff out. That'll be sometime at the end of June. They don't have a date set on that yet, but and then also Lacey, our recreation and education programmer, is going to do a nature journal inspired watercolor class. So they've been getting a lot of interest in the painting classes and things like that. So they're kind of expanding on that a little bit. Again, watch the website and Facebook for those kind of things. It'll be, June and July before you know it. So new programs coming up, and they're working hard to try to find stuff that people want to go check out. So.
Hey, I understand you're getting a couple of electric pickup trucks.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, actually today, finally, it's been a long process. We got a grant to get these trucks. It paid for a big portion of the trucks, and just took a long time for it to finally happen. But today, before I left, one showed up, and another one was showing up when I left. But basically, we're getting 2 Ford Lightnings for the Parks Department. So those are the full-size F-150 Ford Lightnings, and then so we'll be fully electric on those, and hoping to kind of have some information that we can share with the public. We do a lot of educating and stuff for the public, and so I'd like to, as this goes along, show how much that electric is saving us, and whether it really does save us a lot. I think they'll be good for our use. We don't travel a lot. They're usually parked at the end of the day and can sit and charge up. So I think it'll be a good vehicle for the parks, and hopefully reduce emissions, obviously, and then but also hopefully reduce our operating cost, and I hope that's going to be the case, and we should be able to track that with the chargers we're getting and see how that actually works out. So I think. In this grant, there was 4 total that we're getting. MS4 and Building Commission, is also getting one.
Oh.
So, and then there'll be a public charger also. We're going to be putting a public charger in out at Creek Ridge County Park. That's our busiest park, and we figure that's probably a good place for people to come. And there's interstates right there. They can come plug in and spend couple hours or an hour to park, and maybe get a little charge and get a little fresh air while they're out, and maybe let their dog run at the dog park and stuff like that. So we'll see how they work out. I'm kind of excited to see, hopefully get some savings out of them over the years, and hopefully they'll be a good vehicle for us.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Hey, I understand you got the project that's going to be coming up at Lure Park Nature Center. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we So we just bought the lumber and stuff for it today, but we're going to be building, kind of adding on to our trail system. Several years back, the County Park Foundation acquired 15 acres of land south of the park, and that's where our prairie is, the one that I was just talking about us burning. But we have a mowed trail through part of it, but there's a finger of woods that is a very wet section that we couldn't get across. But my crew is going to build a boardwalk across there and hopefully expand the trail into that next field to the south and just add a little bit to it. Our crew is a very talented crew and able to do a lot of stuff ourselves, and so this will be something that we did. We just replaced a boardwalk out at Bloom County Park last year, and then also we're going to have to replace the boardwalk at Lure and the wetland area. There used to be a kind of a tower there that people could climb up on and look over the wetland, and that was probably well over 20 years old. It was time to retire that one, so we'll be replacing that one as well soon. But,
okay.
Yeah, so lots of good stuff. There's several projects, like we just did that burn. Our foundation, my park foundation, paid for the burn. There's several new. I don't think there's any real big building projects that we're looking at. We are looking at trying to eventually expand our nature center. It's a pretty small space, but a lot of working parts on that to try to get that done. So we're kind of in the research part of it. So
okay, all right. I had a question on my mind, and it just slipped my mind. The land that was at the former LaPorte County Highway over in Rolling Prairie. That I think that was transferred to you guys about a year ago or so. Yeah. Any work planned this year on maybe turning that into a county park? Where does that stand right now?
So we got funding from the county council to do a master plan for that park, and we have a meeting coming up. Date hasn't been set yet for May. That'll be a public input meeting that we're looking for people to come and help us kind of plan out what we want to see, what they want to see in that park. And yes, it's we got to work towards this plan so that we can go after grant money. So that's how that usually works. If you don't have a plan, a lot of times you're not going to get grant money, especially federal grants or state grants. So the first step is to get that in place, and then work with the funding sources that are around, and then locally and on the national level to try to find funding to go ahead and develop that park. But that's a goal of ours and a goal of the county commissioners for when they gave that land to us, and I think it's got a lot of potential. I mean, the contractor that came out and looked at it, that is going to help us make the plan, was just like, man, there's so much that could be done here if we can find the money. And but anything's possible. You put it in a plan doesn't mean it has to happen right away, right? You're gonna. My goal is to phase that in. You're gonna find money for certain phases of it. Like, what do we have to do to get it open first, and make a trail and some fishing nodes where people can fish and stuff like that, because there's a nice pond there, and get it to where people can safely access all of that and go from there. You never know what. With all these businesses coming in, the data centers and all that stuff, whether maybe we can hit them up to help us out and see if we can get some development going on there and match monies and stuff like that. So,
is there going to have to be any environmental cleanup? I mean,
so there was some issues back. It's supposed to have a clean bill of health, but I think that is something we'll be looking to make sure we're good to go on. But yeah, there's. Not that I know of that there's going to be anything, but there will be some things, studies done, and make sure that there's nothing as we go to develop it or dig. We're going to have to look into some things. So
okay,
because it was a highway department property. We do have to do quite a bit of cleanup. There's a lot of mulch out there that was piled up. So we're probably going to end up having a giveaway day on some mulch, because there's way more than we would ever use in the park. And then there's some trees. When the highway department gets trees off the road, sometimes they bring them out, pile them up, and then chip them up. So some of those are still there. There's some piles of gravel and stuff. Like I said, the highway department does things a lot different than the parks department. They have a different obviously a different focus on what a park would look like. So, but yeah, so lots to do, and there'll be a lot of opportunity for potential cleanup and for, to help for volunteers and all kinds of stuff in the future once we get this plan done.
Yeah. Aren't there ponds in most of the parks?
Yeah, there's like Creek Ridge has Trail Creek. Red Mill has a wetland pond that has some good fishing in it right now. If you're looking to take a kid and catch some bluegill, take them out there to Red Mill. That's a good spot. Lure has a nice fishing pond that you can usually catch bluegills in. And Bloom has a pond, but it's not really a good fishing pond. It's a nice little pond, but it's full of somebody dumped some goldfish in there years ago, and now there's bunches of goldfish. So.
Oh wow! Yeah, you don't want to catch those and take those home to eat, right?
Yeah.
Can you catch fish in the ponds and take them home to eat, or is it a catch and release?
Lure is catch and release only, because it gets hit pretty hard, and if everybody was taking fish, there wouldn't be much left. Red Mill, you can take fish, but I will say that this is about the only time of year you're going to be able to fish Red Mill because it grows up into a wetland and has lily pads, and it's very hard to fish after that. So that's why we've left it as you can take some fish out of there, because it would be it's a very short window of time you can fish it, really. Otherwise, it's too wetland-like. It's very shallow, so you can't really get in there and do that. And you can keep fish out of Trail Creek if you get a steelhead or when they're running. So something like that.
Okay, great. Hey, any final thoughts? We're at the end of the show.
No, come out to the parks, use them. And like I said earlier, if you see something that you think we need to address, tell us. We want to hear it. We want to hear the good stuff, but we'll take the suggestions as well. We want them to be as best as we can. All of our staff is very dedicated to making sure that they're ready for you, and we hope that we can do that. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, hey, Jeremy, thanks a lot for coming on Sound Off. Look forward to your next visit.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. That'll do it. Jeremy Sobecki, our guest today, Superintendent of the LaPorte County Parks. Thanks for listening to Sound Off. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us and voicing your opinion on this edition of Sound Off.
Oh, hey!
The views expressed on Sound Off are those of the host or callers and do not represent the opinion of 96.7 The Eagle, Spoon River Media, LLC, or the sponsors. Sound Off airs live every Monday and Friday, immediately following Update 12 News, and is available online after the show is over under the podcast menu at hometownnewsnow.com. Mark your calendar and join us again for the next edition of Sound Off, right here on 96.7 The Eagle.